Lynchburg, VA, January 5, 1822. Dear Mr. Morrises, you will find in one of the papers, written in cipher, the names of all my associates, who are each entitled to an equal part of our treasure. And opposite to the names of each one will be found the names and residences of the relatives and others, to whom they devise their respective portions. From this, you will be enabled to carry out the wishes of all, by distributing the portion of each to the parties designated. This will not be difficult, as their residences are given, and they can easily be found. The 2 letters given above were all the box contained that were intelligible. The others consisted of papers closely covered with figures, which were, of course, unmeaning until they could be deciphered. To do this was the task to which I now devoted myself, and with but partial success. To enable my readers to understand the paper numbered 2, the Declaration of Independence is given, by the assistance of which its hidden meaning was made plain, to the letter or paper so often alluded to and marked 2, which is fully explained by the foregoing document, is as follows. By comparing the foregoing numbers with the corresponding numbers of the initial letters of the consecutive words in the Declaration of Independence, the translation will be found to be as follows. I have deposited in the county of Bedford, about 4 miles from Beaufort's in an excavation or vault, 6 feet below the surface of the ground, the following articles belonging jointly to the parties whose names are given in number 3, herewith. The first deposit consisted of 1,014 pounds of gold and 3,812 pounds of silver, deposited November 1819. The second was made December 1821 and consisted of 1,907 pounds of gold and 1,288 pounds of silver. Also jewels obtained in St. the above is securely packed in iron pots with iron covers. The vault is roughly lined with stone, and the vessels rest on solid stone and are covered with others. Paper number 1 describes the exact locality of the vault, so that no difficulty will be had in finding it. 1. The following is the paper, which, according to Beale's statement, describes the exact locality of the vault, and is marked 1. It is to this that I have devoted most of my time, but, unfortunately, without success. 3. The following paper is marked 3 in the series, and as we are informed, contains the names of Beale's associates who are joint owners of the fund, deposited together with the names of the nearest relatives of each party with their several places of residence. The papers given above were all that were contained in the box, except 2 or 3 of an unimportant character, and having no connection whatever with the subject in hand. They were carefully copied, and as carefully compared with the originals, and no error is believed to exist. Complete in themselves, they are respectfully submitted to the public, with the hope that all that is dark in them may receive light, and that the treasure, amounting to more than 750,000, which has rested so long unproductive of good, in the hands of a proper person, may eventually accomplish its mission. In conclusion, it may not be inappropriate to say a few words regarding myself. In consequence of the time lost in the above investigation, I have been reduced from comparative affluence to absolute penury, entailing suffering upon those it was my duty to protect. And this, too, in spite of their remonstrances. My eyes were at last opened to their condition, and I resolved to sever at once and forever all connection with the affair, and retrieve, if possible, my errors. To do this, as the best means of placing temptation beyond my reach, I determined to make public the whole matter, and shift from my shoulders my responsibility to Mr. Morris's. I anticipate for these papers a large circulation, and, to avoid the multitude of letters with which I should be assailed from all sections of the Union, propounding all sorts of questions, and requiring answers which, if attended to, would absorb my entire time and only change the character of my work, I have decided upon withdrawing my name from the publication, after assuring all interested that I have given all that I know of the matter, and that I cannot add one word to the statements herein contained. The gentleman whom I have selected as my agent to publish and circulate these papers was well known to Mr. Morris's. It was at his house that Mrs. Morris's died, and he would have been one of the beneficiaries in the event of my success. Like everyone else, he was ignorant of this episode in Mr. Morris's career until the manuscript was placed in his hands, trusting that he will be benefited by the arrangement, which, I know, would have met the approval of Mr. Morris's. I have left the whole subject to his sole management and charge. It is needless to say that I shall await with much anxiety the development of the mystery.